Do you want to wait for anybody to come and watch the tour? Or?
Do you suspect that anybody is coming to watch the tour?
No. Are the names already on these things? Because then the surprise is already lost.
There's no names on there.
Okay, it's just categories.
Categories, yeah.
Okay. There's, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Moore will be on the booth tour. So,
Welcome to the registration table.
registration table.
This is where you come in, get your badge, pay your money.
Here's our tour guide, John W. Linville. Often duplicated, but never imitated.
We have the loot for the upcoming nickel minimum bid auction. We've given up on the no minimum bid.
Nickel.
Now it's nickel minimum bid. Quite a bit of stuff here. Start the tour of the booth. We have our CoCoFEST newcomer.
Yes.
Boy Son Tech.
Richard Lorbieski.
Right.
How you doing?
Nice looking shirt there, Richard.
Yes.
So what are you showing at your booth here, Richard?
Okay, I am doing CPU upgrades for the Color Computer 3 and also the 2. I'm also doing repairs. I'm repairing a multi-pack interface right now. And I am also demonstrating my Boomerang board. It's one of the smallest 512K boards available. I also have a joystick adapter. It's also one of the smallest ones. It fits in line into the cable itself. And I also have SCART. I also have the SCART cables, but I don't have those. I had forgotten those at home.
So we have Jason's for those. Right?
Yeah, we got Jason, so he's my little backup.
Awesome.
Very good.
Cool. Well,
Welcome to CoCoFEST.
thank you. All right, let's move along. This is continuing the registration. This is the club database updates.
Yeah.
I'm just
So you can make sure we have your proper stamp identification. That sort of stuff.
Don't forget the last four of your social.
Mikey,
Hello.
tell us about your booth.
So I'm showing off 3 different things here. I'm showing off my Python DriveWire server, which is running on Mac. I'm showing off my DW terminal for RS-DOS, and I'm also doing DriveWire over wireless, which I'm calling it the Drive Wireless project. So I actually came up with that name a couple of years ago. I've been working on all these projects over the last couple of years, and I've just sort of published them to GitHub and brought them to life this year, and so that's what I'm showing off here.
Very
Excellent.
cool.
Excellent.
I don't think
Rattling off screwdrivers by any chance?
No, they're free. Take
those are actually Mark's.
Okay.
Take one. They're free.
Awesome.
Just don't.
Static bags if you want.
Well, the Apple II stuff here is so there could only be one person, Mr. Mark Overall.
I have one Apple. It is all loaded out. Trust me.
So,
I wanted to do communication stuff, basically network games. Back about late 80s when I was a lab tutor, I was talking with people maybe using a mini computer, having multiple systems dial in to it, and then play some sort of organized game, which of course everybody does now with Halo and Minecraft and everything else. But this was 1989, so it was kind of cool. Anyway, so now that's even very possible. So I was hoping to have something to show, but I'm very scattered and I haven't been feeling well, and so I did show up and I have stuff, but I really have nothing to demo. But there is a couple of things that have come out recently that are kind of cool. I'm trying to download the disk image. There's a guy in Japan that's doing something called 8-Bit Slicks. It's basically a racing game, but it's networked. He has Commodore, Atari, and Apple right now. It could be a Coco project.
Not saying it's a Coco project.
But it could be.
be.
Anyway, so I'll have 8-Bit Slicks hopefully running here once they get everything up and going. And then also there's another guy on Atari Age who has basically, if everybody remember the cyber computers from Control Data, you can get an emulator that runs on modern hardware, and there's an operating system that runs something called Plato, which is basically an education system, a training system. So he has a Plato server up and running you can connect into, and it has a whole language called Tutor where you can do games, graphics, and all kinds of stuff. So it's not a Coco project yet, but it could be. Anyway, he has an emulator for Atari. He does not have one for Apple, but the specs are out there. So that is another possibility. I talk with my hands a lot.
Mark D. Overholzer.
awesome.
So network computers, living in harmony.
Networking is the future.
Yes, it is.
Next up, David, is it Gaki?
No, it's pronounced Gotsky.
Gotsky. All right.
That's
Well,
what you get with a Polish name.
exactly. So tell us about your booth days.
I brought in a few projects I made. One of them I showed on Facebook, which was the USB keyboard adapter. Made a USB mouse adapter real quick to just, kind of experiment. And then I brought in a really old project I made about 20 years ago when I brought it to the club, which is a PS2 mouse adapter. So I figured there are good things to talk about, talking points for just sharing technology. I'm going to open source it. I picked parts that were 5-volt tolerant, that the tools are, free, so it's like something that other people can pick up and, experiment with as well. So I should have it up and running shortly.
Excellent. Is this your microscope?
No, that is not my microscope.
John Mark, is that your microscope?
Well, Rich Bear brought it in. What he's got here is an Intel chip that you can examine under a microscope.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's like in a slide.
Yeah.
An Intel chip on a slide.
So it's about the chip, not the microscope.
Looks like he's got a flashlight for light.
Yeah.
And you can check it out. What I brought in is I've got Pac-Man running with digital joysticks. There's this Sega joypad adapter, and I want people to try out if they can try out this joystick, or if they want to try out a trackball, or they want to try the old analog while playing Pac-Man. So I just got this set up for that purpose.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. Awesome. Is there, who's in the middle here?
This is high quality Canadian labor.
Yeah, that's good stuff there. I can vouch. All right, Gary. Well, tell us. I assume you're showing your Coco FPGA project.
Yeah. Is it up and running yet?
Is this thing on? Oh well.
Let me see if I can turn everything on here and see if it works.
Oh, we'll have a live.
The screen's got to be up.
Is the screen not on? There we go.
Hey.
There's a port named after you.
Yes, I understand that. It was actually supposed to be the Boise point. That's what it was originally named. And Boise decided to turn it into me, so give me the credit for it, which I don't know why he was the one that designed it. I just implemented it. So
There you go.
yeah, I got the Coco 3 FPGA here. I'm getting ready to boot it up in the Nitrous 9 off of the SD card.
Okay.
I've got to get the SD card out here, but I got a couple other little things here I'm working on. I converted a RS-232 pack over to a drive wire thing here, so
Nice.
just modified version.
I like the scan
I
lines.
was noticing you got the scan line emulation going on here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's an option. One of the switches.
Yeah, I like that it has switches. It feels more like a real computer, an old school computer.
Look at that.
with
Oh,
switches.
yeah.
This is real time talks. I like the scan lines.
Yeah. Some people like them, some people don't.
Very clicky.
Yeah. So,
All right. Well, very cool.
and then over here I've kind of got I'm getting ready to install the Gimme replacement board that I got from Ed.
Oh, cool.
I'm working on a code for that. So I'm getting pretty much to having it working, I think. So
So this is the Coco FPGA. It's the innards of it.
Awesome.
Looks good.
might give a
Thank you.
All right.
So lots of room to partition it for
Mr. Reeveld,
Hey, how are you guys?
tell us all about what you're showing.
All right, today I'm running a Coco 3 with a vintage 2 meg upgrade in it
Vintage.
from Disto.
All right. Hey.
And it's running the Disto Super Controller 2 with the SCSI hard drive adapter in it.
Wow.
And a 300 meg SCSI hard drive and then a 5 1/4 drive with it.
Wow.
So obviously you only need about 80 meg to run 255 RS-DOS disk images, so hopefully I can set the rest up as OS9. Big partition. Over here I had a dead Coco 1, so I decided the best use for this was to repack it with an Intel CompuStick. So I put an Intel CompuStick on it, and it auto boots to VCC and then auto boots Sidekick and a hard drive image. So you don't have to know anything. All you have to do is know how to plug the power into the outlet.
Wow.
As soon as you plug it in, everything turns on, boots up to the hard drive image, and you can just go.
We should call that plug and play.
Well, it's plug. I don't get a chance to play it.
No?
And we're hoping somebody can help identify this
Oh, okay. Yes.
super board.
It's got 2 coin holders in it.
Yeah, it does. I'm taking donations if you want to put more coins into it.
LR Tech. LR Tech, Superboard, Comp. Okay. Well, good
Official
question.
Zaxxon. Zaxxon,
Figured
Zaxxon.
out it was dual serial, parallel, and real time, but no idea how to address it.
It looks like it's just an RS-332 with a
Rick, you're on
parallel
tour.
track. I put it in
You're on tour, Rick.
software that I have that would normally work with the question? Lux RS.
What are you doing here?
Well, my table is pretty simple. I'm just showing off my development system, which is a Raspberry Pi running Ron Klein's CoCoFEST 3 distribution. And then it's connected with a drive wire to an actual Color Computer 3. So I've got a sort of a kiosk set up where you can play all of my games here. And then I'm messing around with the source code and building things over here.
Okay.
Sort of the flying wallendas without a net, as Steve George described it. And then I've got a monitor that is mirroring what I see here.
Be sure to show this right here because this is a beautiful example of what music notation looks like.
Hey.
So Temple of Ron, back in the day, 60 minutes to build. I will now build it before your very eyes.
Whoa.
It
Okay.
built.
Well, I missed that. That went too quick. I totally missed it.
A fifth of a second.
Do it again. We need to get this on camera. We need a do-over. And it's built.
Yes. And it's mounted on the Color Computer 3. So if I made changes and then I typed that command, it would now you could play it on the Color Computer 3
It's been
instantly. And it would be the new version.
That's neat.
That can of compressed air cooling down the chips. So now you don't need that can of compressed air cooling down the chips.
That's right. Well, not yet anyway.
No freon required, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
Bomb threat. We're ready to have a play tester here, Tim Linder.
I think we're done with this room.
Okay, we're done with this room. The tour continues. Our gracious tour guide. Thank you, Gary.
No problem.
All right, here we come.
Look out, everybody.
Start here and go around.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, we got the Japanese media here. Hello,
Konnichiwa.
Yokoso. That means welcome.
All right, Carlos, tell us what you're doing here.
I'm trying to make some money.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
All right, well.
Do I hear 5 cents?
5 cents. Here you go for 5 cents. So this is the Color Computer Store. So the idea is this year I'm just going to try to sell some goods. Then we're going to turn it into an e-commerce site.
Okay.
So that's my bread and butter. What I do for a living is run e-commerce sites.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with just selling. We're going to start selling, stuff that I create. But eventually, I'd like to put on other products on there by other people because it's people. Some people are into creating software, creating hardware, but they don't want to deal with the whole business side
Distribution
or
and
the
stuff.
distribution. So we're going to handle that. So some of the highlights I have on here, I've got the 6009 card. So even when you're not doing Coco stuff, you can still kind of roll that 6809 in there. And if you zoom up, you can see the different parts. I'm zooming. Can you see the parts? Yeah.
It's a touchscreen.
It's a touchscreen, right? And then, to remind ourselves that as long as we're alive,
Not so extinct. I like
we're not
that.
so
That's-
extinct
That's
yet.
the dino from Dino Wars, right?
That's it.
I'm gonna have to get one of those.
Yeah.
And of course, we got the cool keychain with the correct spelling of color.
Color.
Yeah.
Color.
We've got the Motorola cap,
Nice.
right? As you're playing golf, if you do that.
Yeah.
This is the
Color Golf. by
this is
Candy.
the bookmarker with Hitachi.
Hitachi. Cool.
Right? Can you read that?
Yeah.
Right. Sun rising. Hitachi.
Hitachi.
I lived in Japan for 15 years, so
I bet it really doesn't say that.
yeah, it does. It does.
I'm gonna look it up.
We've got the catalog number 04 2018. That was in the last catalog that they had, the very last one. And we got these in different sizes.
Cool.
I also got some of the other platform stuff because I knew John would be here, so I would entice him with MSX software, right? And game pads for the PC Engine. Someone that's really good could probably convert this to work on a Coco. Appreciate coming by, guys. Domo, arigato. Or I should say, in Portuguese, obrigado.
There you go. All right, Miss Brain, tell us what you're doing here.
Selling cookies.
Cookies.
Making money like that.
Yeah, there you go. Making money. These homemade?
They are.
Oh, yeah?
Not quite set up yet, but we have earrings and Commodore shirts with liquidation.
Liquidation, huh?
Get rid of them.
Wait a second, there's Commodore shirts at CoCoFEST? What's going on here? Get him out of here.
I figured you could take them and shoot paintballs at us.
Okay, well, here's her oppressive father, Mr. Jim Brain, to tell us about the rest of the table.
We see where the looks didn't come from.
This is the trollware table, is it not?
That's right, trollware.
Okay.
I should rename it, yes.
Okay.
So, Retro Innovations here today, showing off some stuff I've been working on over the last, probably over the winter. Mainly Coco Mim Jr., which is over on the far right here, 2 meg expansion for the Coco 1 and 2. Taking pre-orders for it now. It's going to be at $70. The other thing I'm showing off today, getting ready to take pre-orders on, is the 8-slot expander. So
you got a sound chip and 4 serial ports?
Yeah, right. Sound chip and 4 serial. No, but 4 serial ports right there. You can plug into it in one of the spare slots.
Oh,
hey, yes.
Okay. And
David Ladd could load it up with 8
that's
of those.
right. He can do a whole bunch of them, right? And then some prototypes I've been working on. This unit right here is it's a dual CPU 63C09 coprocessor card with 1 meg of RAM and access from the Coco, as well as running programs on both of the units. Right now it's running the software at the same speed as the main color computer, but I've also got a version in the works that runs both CPUs at 4 megahertz.
Oh, wow.
Cool. So, and then still under development is the original Coco Mim for the Color Computer 3. That unit has 4 meg. The production unit's going to have 8 meg of RAM, and it plugs into the Gimme slot, and so it doesn't require you to socket the CPU or remove the memory in the machine.
Okay, cool.
So
really pass through.
That's right. So that's that.
Coco Mem. Looking good. Go for retro.com.
Go for retro.
That's right.
Very good, thank you.
No problem.
All right, Mr. Wright.
You can't put me on camera. I just woke up. I haven't had time to do my hair.
Hasn't done his hair and makeup yet. Here's Coco Mem Jr.
Where's your lamp?
I was driving by the house and I thought, do I really want to go back and get the lamp? So the wife will bring over the lamp later.
If you just woke up, give us your best Neo look.
So I'm going to be demonstrating my text adventure system. I've been working on it for the last 2 years. It is it's actually a Windows-based tool where you can design a game like Zork, the Colossal Cave Adventure, in a GUI, and then you can export it out to one of 6 classic computers at this point. It'll build a binary or a disk image for you, and then you can run it over on the Coco on an SD card. You can run it on the Model 1 if you have a Fred. You can run it on the Apple using ADT Pro. It'll make a floppy for you. It'll make a cassette tape image for you for the Sinclair Spectrum. And we're actually using this at my high school. I have the students do a unit on text adventure. We map out the game. We make all the packaging. They have to write all the logic. You know, if I pull the rope, the drawbridge goes down. And then they actually make the physical disc. We run them on an Apple II.
Wow.
We may actually, since we've got the Coco and the SDC, we may start doing Coco as well.
And you also did Flood It.
I also did Flood It, yes. And this is actually a student at the school we're in.
Hey,
So it's great to see him.
See you. And Neil's going to have these for sale. Flood It.
Oh, awesome. Yes, people seem to like it.
Yes.
It's a fun game.
Cool. Thank you.
Again, it's good programming exercise.
Neil Nate.
So,
Good to meet
in the
you.
corner, this is the Music Man's booth. I don't see the Music Man.
All right, the Music Man. He does music.
So we can talk to Coco Man.
Coco Man, you're on tour.
I'm on tour.
You're on camera now, man.
Home of the switcheroo.
Home of the switcheroo. Coco Man.
RGB to switchable RGB to SCART cable.
So we're looking at your switcheroo right now, right?
Right, and right now we're.
With the composite.
This is a composite mode. We're running a Demon Seed in composite mode, and then we can easily just flip the switch, and we're over to, and then we're on RGB mode.
Lost our artifact. Right. Switcheroo. Let's get a close up of this, people. Do not try this at home. He's a trained professional. All right. So RGB to SCART, and then you have the SCART to HDMI. Very good. There's Ken. Ken, make it. And then here's the Forest of Doom. We saw this live during our marathon when Jason, with the help of me, won the game.
Yeah, those rage quits really help. And display case by Ken make it.
Ken make it. Ken made it. He did.
Yeah.
Ken made it. That's a great display.
Well, behind us is John Strong.
John Strong of Strongware.
Mr. Strong. I'll just point out he's got a number of
Coco SDC cases.
He has some of his
Oh, I need a
software.
Coco Flash case. Yep. He's got a box for the Coco FPGA there too with the clear lid. That's neat. Now this one here, this is for the what's his name? The Matchbox Coco. Yeah. So that's the DE Nano one. Okay. Brendan Donahue's Coco VGA. Coco VGA project.
Daddy!
Hey, Brendan!
Here he comes.
You're on tour, Brendan.
All right. So what I have here is the Coco VGA project. So at my table, I have a Coco 2 with a vertical RF can. That's kind of my daily driver, Coco 2. I have a Coco 1F board with Ed's new board design in it, the Swiss cheese one that as I call it. This is a Tano Dragon. So that one is one that we used to have to. Oh no, sorry, this is a Tano Dragon. So sorry, desolder 6847 and plug it in its place. And that system over there is the PAL Dragon from the
PAL Dragon.
So this is the one that you just have to stack a bunch of sockets in. And I've got another board designed in there from Ed that is also compatible with the Coco 2 with a horizontal RF can. Not the T1 yet, but that will be coming. But the other Korean Coco 2. So anyway, the only ones I actually have for sale right now are still the ones like these. They're exactly the same. But these are coming, and I've got a waiting list. So let me know if you're interested.
What about your rare collectible bug-ridden bomb threat?
Bomb threat, yeah. My collectible, yeah.
With the kill screen.
Oh, there you go.
Awesome. Complete with kill screen.
The good news is I'm not good enough to get to the kill screen. I don't even know it's there.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, for me, the first screen is the kill screen.
Truth hurts. Okay.
64 by 32.
This side?
All right, who's over here?
Neil Blanchard.
Neil, you're on camera.
How are you?
What is your booth about?
This here is it's a garage sale.
A garage sale. Coco garage sale.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So basically, anything goes.
Okay.
So what do you have that I need?
You need a pin. That's my last Coco 3.
There you go. It's a pretty good price too.
Yeah.
Well, it's fully upgraded. There's a CMA monitor as well. Don't be pushing it. Don't be pushing it. Oh, okay. Grant wants a CMA. He wants a
Grant wants a CMA?
That's what I think. I think that's fair.
Okay. Look at that.
Well, you better hurry up before someone else decides to grab it.
Whoa, here. Sorry, I'm behind you guys.
Last year, and I was
All right, so what I'm going what I'm showing off as soon as I find the rest of my cables is the prototype for the Sursound serial sound device.
Okay.
And it's basically, on the prototype, it's a $4 Arduino, a $1 sound chip, and a little connector to go to like a headphone output, and a 92-cent serial adapter.
Okay.
Then I load it with firmware, and I send stuff to it out the printer part of the color computer. Then it will play music on its own in the background.
Okay.
So you can actually send notes like the play command, and it will play music. Right now it'll be the startup sound. But I gotta get some firmware on here that actually works.
Okay.
And then I've got the various forms of prototypes to get to this point. This is also the Sursound Junior, where you can take any Arduino and just wire up a sound port to it, and you can have one voice background music between this and a serial plug. So that'll be something somebody can build at home without having to have sound chips or a ton of wires. And then over here I've got the prototypes of the Coco Wi-Fi project, which is a Wi-Fi chip. These are about $4 from China. And this is the fancier serial port that supports all the flow control lines, but you could use the 92-cent one. So for $5 and a couple of wires, well, it looks like this. You've got a $4 part, 92-cent part, the jumper wires came with it. Plug that into the serial port, and it looks like it's an old-style Hayes Smart modem, and your color computer can use any OS 9 or Disk Basic program and just telnet. There's also IRC, FTP, a lot of other utilities for the Commodore this was written for, so we just need to port those over, and then we'll be able to IRC chat from BASIC or FTP files. And this is the basic version for the Bitbanger. Just transmit, receive, power, and ground. And then if you get a fancier adapter, these cost about $3.25. It has a lot more wires on it. And then this has your flow control, carrier detect, and all the extra features. So you might use this if you were doing a BBS or something. And so I'm going to do a little thing later on and hook it up to the internal network, and we'll be able to show how telnet is. And then down here is Roger Taylor's FPGA Matchbox Coco.
Okay.
And this is the enclosure that John Strong made for it. And this is John Strong's new enclosure for it, for people that want it to look more like a Coco.
Yeah.
And since I was here last year, I now have the additional board on the bottom that gives us the 2 joystick ports.
Okay.
So I've got audio in and out, joystick ports, SD card, PC mouse and keyboard, and if I can find my batteries, it uses the old cheap Web TV wireless keyboards. So if you don't want to have to use wire to it, you can do that. So I'm just showing that off for Roger. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. This is the first time I've had my banner and actually had a Coco at the CoCoFEST since maybe '95. So I'm glad to be back.
All right, Mr. Bjork, tell us what you got here.
I currently don't have much for the Coco right now. Did a lot of stuff back in the day, but not right now. But they'll be changing. It'll be changing. Future projects or products I plan to support definitely would be Allen Sursound, and their head is working on a new multi-pack that has 4 ports, and it's got a fantastic sound chip on it. We'll actually do instruments. So
I wish I could hear you over the music right now.
That's easy enough to do. I'll turn it back on in a moment. But what I'm trying to do here is demonstrate something well, this is one of my companies, Haunt Hackers. I've got about 4 companies, and including another job that I do for a certain large amusement park. But Haunt Hackers sells kits. I sell you the circuit board in a few parts. They go through and assemble. This one here costs about $35, maybe $40 to build. And it does this guy, which is a 3-axis call, so it can look around at the audience and talk to the folks. And the audio that's played by the card is analyzed in real time, figures out how to move the jaw based on the speech patterns, the phonetics, and then does it. You don't have to pre-program the thing for the show.
So lip sync.
Yep.
It's lip syncing,
It also
yeah.
has a lip sync code where you can send audio into it, and it'll analyze the audio, so you can have an actor doing the voice.
Oh, wow.
So, anyways,
That's
yeah, these are the things. And then I've got the wee little talker down there. It just moves the jaw. Some people are asking for an inexpensive version of that. It's even cheaper than building one. Cool. Now, out there on Discord and other places, I've been talking about a little audio chip that's called the DF Player Mini. It's really small right here. It takes a micro SD card, and it's not much larger than a micro SD card. And it plays full WAV or MP3 sound. So you get really good quality of audio out of it. And I'm working on a soundboard for the haunt industry where it has 6 of these guys. And you could trigger it to play a different sound effect, and it could do up to 6 at one time. So like in a haunt situation where you got a room, you can have background eerie music or the drips of a water faucet or whatever playing. And then as things happen in the room, it can play the audio for that. So, and I'm going to make that available for the Coco, so you can have 6 players doing your sound effects and music. Independently. And like
Not saying it's a Coco project, but it could be.
It could be. Anyways, these guys here are all the reason why I brought this, they're all programmed in BASIC.
Basic?
Basic, yes. So most of the people here will be able to program. I give you the software, but it's Creative Commons, so you can play with it all you want, don't have to worry about infringing. And let's bring up the audio.
Very cool.
Thank you.
All right. Now, who is the person behind this magnificent?
Can you hold the camera for Bruce?
Sure.
I didn't agree with the king at all.
So we got 2 projects here. Forced to Do, which I demoed last year, delivered in a very interesting format. You buy the book, download the link, and then you get that to play the game. And I think we saw Jason Reitgard, he was one of the big winners of that. Won a special one of the cheers, yeah. And my new project here is another sort of different kind of project, Coco Forever. It's actually an audio drama. Episodic, so it's multiple episodes. It's sort of a Back to the Future theme.
This community needs drama.
Oh yeah. The idea here is, what if Tandy won? What if you could go back in time and change something so that Tandy came out on top? That's the basic premise. There'll be maybe 10 episodes or so, and a number of them are going to come with code that you run on your Coco.
Oh, neat.
So, as a supplement. So, again, something different. The demo's here. You can listen to episode 1 in its entirety.
I can't wait to hear
wherever you want.
I hear you spared no expense in the voice sound.
Yeah, I got a lot of voice talent. Yeah.
Wait, you chopped down a tree?
Here we have Mr. Mark Marlette.
Cloud9 Technology.
Hey, come talk to us from both tour.
Like he's making a sale there. They have a super keyboard.
Tell us what you're doing here. What is this?
Cloud9 here.
Take that.
We have the Cool Touch 3, which is a new. This is a proof of concept. The production one will be coming, but it's a mechanical keyboard replacement. Comes as a kit.
Those are actual switches on there,
Yes, these are actually mechanical switches.
Wow.
Perfect for the IBM Model M keyboard lovers. The clickety-clack.
You get a little feedback.
Yeah, right on. Old school.
And we have, this is called a Triad Plus. So this is a 2 meg.
2 meg?
2 meg.
2 megs?
2 megs. What are you going to do with all that memory?
Yep. So we got 2 meg there, and then the mate to that, of course, is the Protector Plus MMU. So it's kind of a prototype form here right now. I worked on this a week, so I couldn't get a board here fast enough.
What is the plus of the Protector?
Protector Plus normally was the name of the previous product, so now it's Protector Plus MMU. So there's an MMU here, which is basically the logic that piggybacks on the gimme.
Okay, so it's adding more functionality.
It pairs with the Triad Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. So this board will function as 2 meg or 512K. You just pull this board out, pull this pin out right here, and it'll run as 512. You don't have to have this board.
Well, if you have it as 2 meg, would it still work as 512 anyways?
Yes.
Yeah, by just pulling that, right?
Pulling this board out.
Okay.
So if I pull this out, turn it back on.
Now it's 512.
It's 512.
I'll work.
But it doesn't work as a 512 when it's a 2 meg mode? I'm getting lost.
It's simple, Stevie. Come on.
Oh yeah, it's still good. You got 0 to 2 meg. Yeah.
Even though the 512 you can't access it because it's all coming.
Oh, okay. So you need the MMU to access it.
Correct.
Okay, right. Gotcha. All right, I'm slow. But I get there.
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Boise.
Yeah, well, that kind of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. There could be something.
Booth tour going by.
It's like I'm on
Just give
camera.
us a
What's
few
up?
minutes. What's going on, Boise? What are you doing this year?
Call for Paper is kind of miserable this year. You got two. One that I wrote, one that Brendan wrote on the CoCoFEST and Sprite hardware acceleration.
Okay.
And this is all my random stuff from closets that I pulled out, just trying to get rid of it. I'm not taking it back.
Boise's Bits.
Yeah, so that's it. And of course, I'm working with Mark to support his product. So.
Excellent.
Excellent. Yes.
Thank you. So will we be able to read these?
Yeah, sure,
okay.
absolutely.
So moving now, what's going on here, guys?
Well, there's actually a couple of things going on. The ease of use is the banner, and that's basically the OS 9 project, Nitrous 9 project, to make it easy for users to use. We've done a lot of development tools, like the ones done like LW tools and LWS, to make it really easy for developers. We're trying to make it easy for the users that have never used OS 9 Nitrous 9 before. So we're making a CoCoSTC hard drive image that's got everything pre-installed, pre-configured. You just plug it in, type DOS, and run. Like mouse interface for all the apps and all the games that's in work in progress. So that's what the Ease of Use project in. We're in alpha stages right now. We've got about 15 testers right now. We're going to be adding a couple more. We're going to get some developers helping because I'll be modifying Nitrous 9 itself, adding stuff to G Shell, speeding up base 1i, etc., etc. So that's part of it. And then David's got some hardware stuff he's showing off here too.
Yeah, some of the things that I come up with because most people don't really like the old Coco mice. So one of the things I've been working on is these adapters that are on the Coco itself, and that's to convert a PS2 mouse to the Coco joystick port. So that way you can use, as you can see, a nice optical PS2 mouse on the Coco.
Now, are those easier to use?
Well, let's see here. I would say yes.
Ease of use on the mouse.
It doesn't jitter as much. It's a neutered mouse, so it's much easier to use.
There you go.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
See you out. Somebody want to film me while I do my spiel? All right. All right, so I'm John Linville. Stevie Stroh, host of Coco Talk, and
actually you can't say that anymore because we actually have a Steve Stroh now.
That's true, Steve Stroh Bridge. So we're here just representing Coco Talk itself. As you know, we're just a community show. The community joins us, and we are inspired by CoCoFEST. We're inspired by the Coco crew. And my project this year is Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the Best of Coco Talk DVDs. And so we have two of these best ofs that were created by Brian Joyce in Australia of Extructus Productions. And he created those two, but we also recorded an exclusive episode for this DVD that's split across the two. So combined, there's 5.5 hours of Coco talking goodness on these two discs. And we're also getting everybody here at CoCoFEST to autograph a lot of these, so we're going to be auctioning some of these off with autographs of CoCoFEST attendees, and we'll also probably auction some of these off or raffle them off on the show live at some point in time too, to people who watch the show. So this is our project, Coco Talk. It's been a year. We started last year, right before CoCoFEST, so we're now celebrating a year. So now we're here as CoCoFEST with the best of what we've done this past year. Thank you.
All right, I want to stay up, doesn't it? Ron.
Where? Ron?
Right?
Yeah. There's the Timberman, Ron Delvaux, of Ron's Garage. And what do you got to show up here, Ronnie?
This is a high color.
Yeah.
This is the radio I used to do WeFax.
Oh, neat.
And I took a picture of it, and we're displaying it. It's 320 by 240, or no, by 200. 256 color VMP file, shown with Sockmaster's program.
Neat. Now, is this running on the Coco Pi?
Yes.
And this is running on the Coco Pi.
That's the Coco Pi right here.
Yeah, neat.
What is this beauty here?
Oh.
That's an MC10.
Oh, MC10.
The MC10.
And, I cannot get it signed by Steve Bjork.
Steve Bjork won't
He
sign
will
it?
not do it.
Haters gonna hate.
I don't know where he is now.
Mr. Rowan, how are you doing?
Myro.
I'm doing good. Lovely and talented Myro.
Lovely and talented.
What is your booth about here?
Well, I've got several products I've been offering for a few years. We've got the Super Pack case. That's our injection molded cartridge case. So if you're wanting to develop some game cartridges, we sell those. We also have the board that fits inside it, a development proto board, a Super Pack proto board.
Is that the Game Master sound unit?
That's just a proto board for building your own projects. And then we also have our 512K nameplate.
I need to get a couple of those.
Yeah. Also sell 2 different kinds of bugs. Got CoCoFEST specials going on, so the bugs are just $5 each. Everything's been reduced for CoCoFEST.
Nitrous 9. Got a multi-identity here. Tandy Color Computer. Nice. Very nice.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, so the next booth is mine. I intended to have a audio revised edition of Farfall for the show. Had some last minute quality issues, so not delivering that right now. But I do have a couple of demos of the sort of sound that the Game Master cartridge makes, and I am offering build-it-yourself kits, developer kits for those that are interested.
Okay.
So, there we go.
Nice.
Mr. Chris Flip.
You got it.
What are you doing here?
Exercising in futility.
So,
Trying to get some things to work. Can't even get my FPGA to go to the screen.
so just working on Coco project.
Just having fun.
All right.
Usual stuff.
Okay.
My failure.
Yeah. But your problem is you're running Nitrous 9.
Imagine that.
All right. Mr. Hawks, what you got?
Mostly the same old stuff.
Yeah.
But the new thing this year is the USB Coco keyboard adapter.
Oh yeah?
Is that running here?
Yeah. The one on the right is not a Coco. It's a Raspberry Pi.
The one on the left.
See it through the grill.
Yeah. So this is the Raspberry Pi in here, but you have the Coco membrane
keyboard.
It's a USB keyboard.
Pretending to be USB.
Pretending to be USB. That's cool.
That is very cool.
Theoretically, you can hook that up to a Mac or a PC
Yeah, you
or
can
whatever.
use it on anything that's USB.
When you absolutely have to have the best quality keyboard possible, this is it.
Although you may want to pick up the
Mechanical, with the mechanical upgrade now too. Huh?
the HDL keyboard.
Yeah.
Cool?
Nice.
All right, very nice seeing you, Mr. Hawks. Mr. Williams,
Lost Wizard Productions.
what are you doing? What's your booth about?
Well, I'll have my Daggerith expansion running as soon as I can get the FPGA thing to talk to drive wire properly.
Drive wire.
How about drive wireless?
Drive wireless. That's
Yeah, someone else's, yeah.
Yes,
So you say extended diagram?
Yeah.
So what's extended about it?
Well, it's got a complete font for one, so you can put lowercase.
Oh, okay.
It has a pause feature.
Oh, that's almost cheating, isn't it?
I like that.
And you can save to disk.
Oh,
That's the real feature.
Yeah, save the disc. I like that.
Okay. Now, of course, that means you need a 32K machine instead of 16K because you're loading the thing from disk as well.
Right. Put me down for a copy of that. I'd like to get that.
Well, it's free anyways.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. Wonderful.
Neat. Did we miss anyone? Who's that? Oh, Mr. Strong. John Strong.
We hit his table, he just wasn't there.
John Strong. Tell us about your booth.
Well, I do 3D cases, such as this new one for the CoCoFPGA. I also support Rogers Taylor. CoCo STD case, MIDI cases, games, Bomb Squad, 3D printed game cartridge, high-res joystick interface.
So I'm just hoping it's some
Gems 2, Soviet block.
Very nice. Focus in on the Bomb Squad cartridges. 3D printed in 2 colors.
Yes.
Actually has the
You can power that off and pull it out.
That's what she said.
There we go.
There we go.
Has the 3D effects there.
That's pretty.
Embellishments. It's a very custom thing. Very
Yeah,
cool
one of
job.
a kind.
And it's got a.
When you look
what's out
on the side there,
What's on the side?
the levers are bombs.
Oh.
Yeah. Little pullouts are bombs. Yeah.
Your
that's-
finger grip is a bomb.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
cool. John Strong, everybody.
Okay.
All right, now, yeah, that's the end of the booth tour. It's not quite 10:30, but it's about time for lightning talk. So.
All right, so we're going to end
Hey, so
this
that went
stream.
well. We timed that well, eh?
Yes, not bad. All right.